Sanmanan, guys. So like most of you, most of us, when we wake up, we have this very, very, very bad habit of taking our phones and going through our social medias. Check your inboxes or your DMs or whatever the case may be. And one thing I've picked up a lot is amachita sending me messages probably about like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, I read them when I wake up. So they send me messages about the challenges that they're going through. They send me messages about them being stuck and how I can assist. And it's something that's young shy, guys, because like I can just imagine the mindset that person is at 2 o'clock in the morning, texting, pouring out their heart, So young shy, like I'm an empath, so knows well for things like that. I think many men, many sisters have been through so many challenges. So when they see someone, or when they know someone, or when they hear someone going through something, it doesn't sit right, man. Every villain has an origin story. Every villain. There was one of the comments that were written under one of my YouTube videos, and this gentleman asked me if I can do a video around how men with means or sugar daddies, whatever the case may be, take advantage of young girls, and I said, yeah, I'll 100% do a video. Older men with younger girls. Guys, I'm not even talking about the illegal stuff like the last video. I'm just talking about a guy who's 40 dating a 21-year-old, And I was like, yeah, I can do videos like that. But the reality that it might not go the way that you think the video will go. My view on that is not as how just in your society goes, brah, it's wrong. I try, operative word being to try, to unpack things in layers. There's the first obvious layer that we can see. Diddy is a jerk, he's wrong, he's horrible. Then there's a level that we don't understand where we unpack who created Diddy, and you go back to Clive Davis and who Clive Davis is towards Diddy and what Clive Davis did to Whitney, to Brandy, to Left Eye. And then you keep going down to try and understand the mindset. Even when R. Kelly, you're like, what a monster. And then you find out towards he was also raped and, abused. I'm not justifying it. I'm trying to understand it in its layers. I'm not justifying any horrible, immoral thing. I'm just trying to understand, So again, he wanted me to make a video. Tina, as a machita, there's a Brommats. It's called Brommats. Just for a girl that you can date. So this is the youngest girl that you can date. So if I'm 30, the Brommats is half your age plus 7. So if I'm 30, half my age is 15 plus 7. That makes it 22. So a 30-year-old guy, the youngest girl they can date is a 22-year-old. That's Brommats. So meaning again, if I'm 40, the youngest girl will be 27 because half my age, 20 plus 7, that's 27. So a 40-year-old man, 27-year-old. Even if I'm young, I'm a 20-year-old guy. What's the Brommats saying? The Brommats is half my age plus 7. So if I'm 20, the youngest I can go is 17. I don't know if that makes sense. So outside of that, in a society, we start judging, I've never seen people judge a 40-year-old who's dating a 30-year-old, even though there's a 10-year gap, However, when a 25-year-old dates a 15-year-old, then definitely that's an illegal thing, even though it's the same 10-year gap. So when you add that bromance that I'm talking about, it tends to look different. I digress. Let's go back to what's at hand. So again, I get, especially of late, I'm getting a lot of DMs from a machita, and I'm trying, guys. I promise you, I'm not trying to ignore. I really do respond, and those that have sent me DMs on Instagram, they will acknowledge, I do respond, and I respond in essays, like, because I'm so passionate about trying to assist or give my opinion. This is what I think, how you should handle it. The theme that constantly comes out around a lot of these guys that have been getting of late is that abajoli basabuk joli, and the reason why is because they've got no financial muscle, or they're not working, or they're still studying, or whatever the case may be. But it's linked to that. And it goes back to that comment. Can you take it? Can I do a video around men that take advantage of girls? Guys, if we think about it, when we're talking about men that talk about advantage of horses space, we're not talking about broke guys. Generally speaking, whenever you see an older guy with a young girl, we're not talking about broke guys. And we're not just talking about a standard guy who works a 9 to 5 who's earning 8,000 rand. That's not what we're talking about. You know, guys that are just standard, earning 8,000 rand financially, who are 40 years old, they're not dating the 22-year-old slave queen. You guys know that. They're not buying them iPhones. You guys know that. So what are we talking about? We're talking about men with certain means. Men who drive certain cars, who live in certain areas, who earn or make a certain amount of money. Okay, sure. Old man, young girl, is that right? It's wrong. You know, in my opinion, guys. Is it illegal? If she's over 18, it's not illegal at all. The guy could be 90 years old, she could be 19, that's fine. They could even legally do porn, you know. So again, do I think it's right? I think it's immoral, but that's just me. Let's unpack these guys. Let's unpack these ladies. I've always said, and I've done a couple of videos where I say, if we're going to blame someone, I always blame the sisters. The reason being is that Unjabulo, who's a 13-year-old boy, and Upalesa, who's a 13-year-old girl, are in grade 7 together. They grew up together. They live next door. You know, Unjabulo's mom is a single teacher. Upalesa's mom is a single teacher as well. You know, the following year, they both get to high school. They're in grade 8, you know. They were happy. They were dating. It was fine. There was no pressure. All of a sudden, Utupalesa no Njabula can't be with you. Or maybe she doesn't even have the decency to tell him. You know, one day at break, he sees Upalesa with a grade 10 guy or a grade 11 guy. So showing his teen. You know, that happened or happens to so many guys. You know, it may happen to you when you're in grade 8 and she leaves you for an older guy. It may happen to you for the first time when you're in varsity, or even when you're in your early 20s, you know, where she leaves you for an older guy. But she's not just leaving you for a guy who's older in years. It's not that. She's leaving you for a guy who has achieved further. So if you're playing under 14 rugby and that's what she's attracted to, and that's her measure of, oh, wow, my man, clout or success or achievement is playing A-team rugby, she will leave you to a guy who plays under 16A rugby because she wants to step up. I've seen this time and time again. Sisters, it's just how sisters are made. But they don't realize, Uguti, they're creating villains by breaking young men. They're breaking young men, you know. And flip side, Amachita, Anna 16, no, bro. You know she's dating a guy that's young. You know she's better. No, leave her alone. There's so many single ladies that you should be out there. And then when you speak to those guys who are 17 or 18, I'm like, bruh, why aren't you dating in your grade? They say, the girls in our grade don't want to date us. The girls, if I'm in matric, I want to date a matric girl because you understand that, you know, we're going through the same academic challenges. We're all stressed about next year and going to varsity. I want to date her. But she's dating a third year, or she's dating Umchito Spanai, or she's dating 50-year-old pastors. So now again, when you're in a grade 8 boy, in primary school it was different. When you get to grade 8 girls, I'm a grade 8, she's a grade, when I'm in grade 10, I'm grade 10, she's in grade 10, and I'm sitting and I'm going, is no one talking to our sisters or saying, calm down? There's this bullshit thing that a lot of sisters say at a certain age. It only happens at a certain age where they say, women mature faster than men. I remember I used to hear that all the time at school, and I never understood that. And I'd always ask them a very simple question like, mature how? What does mature mean? I get it from a biological point, you know, I can see it, you know, because again, by the time sisters get to age 13, for the most part, they have started their journey of puberty, boobs, nyana, zinganyana. I see that. So are you talking about maturity physically? Oh, I agree. If it's a physical thing, I agree. You know, if you're talking about it mentally, I disagree. I fully disagree. You know, females from my experiences, I don't see how they mature faster than men. You know, again, like that would mean, Uguti, if we go to any top 10, that's a school that's a co-ed school with just see girls. No. Tina, the same girls that used to say that they're more mature than me, they used to be copying my Afrikaans, they copied my maths. None of them played A-team sports. None of them did any cultural activity. None of them were any success in the terms of the school scope, besides the fact that you told him. So when you talk about maturity, what are you talking about? Unpack it so that I can understand, and then we don't have to debate this. Physically, sure, I get it. But in terms of maturity, what does that look like? What is it that you're talking about? Just because you're dalag now, it doesn't mean that you're mature. It's almost like this mindset that some people have, maybe our sisters have, when they're sitting on the passenger side of a fancy car. They think it's her car, to a point where she judges umchita who's driving it hers. On the passenger side of a G-Wagon, she has nothing. She has nothing to her name. But sitting on the passenger side of a G-Wagon, for her, makes her feel better than umchita who's actually owns and drives it hers. I've never understood that mindset. Is that a mindset of a mature person? Can't be. It cannot be. Guys, if I take two guys, 14-year-old guys, and I give them best friends, the one 14-year-old guy, I say, your best friend is another grade 8 guy. And I say to the second grade 8 boy, your best friend is a matric guy. Now the aim is to learn from each other. The aim is to knowledge exchange, kulsani. Obviously, when you are 14 and you have another 14-year-old best friend, nikulisana based on the knowledge that you have. The guy who's 14 who has a 18-year-old friend, uzomdonsa, and they'll give them certain knowledge. You've learned through this guy's experience. It's called having a mentor. It's called having a coach. It doesn't necessarily mean that generally females mature faster. It doesn't. It just means because when you're 18 and you're 18, if you're 14 and you're 18, uzokhulisa in certain areas. Not that you're naturally maturing faster. It's just that now you know things like sex. Okay. Now you must come and look at us like, no, it's not that. It's calming down. It's not this thing of izinto. And you see a lot of things in our brothers that do crime. Izinto. Calm down, guys. Izofika lento. Slowly but surely calm down, because you guys start ending up doing messed up things, and then you guys go on social media and tell us about McMill, yo, put your head down, grind, you'll get there, grind. Kandi grind yake was getting diddle from Diddy so that he can get it chankor on the back. Now he's going around doing videos telling young men to grind and work hard, which he wasn't doing to make his money. Guys, come on. Siyabona, man. Siyabona. Unfortunately, some of our younger brothers and younger sisters can't see that. It takes time and years for you to realize, that guy, he's 38, he's got 4 Lambos, has 10, what do you do, bruh? Oh, I do the logistics. What does that, Namatraki? No, it's giving. Man. We understand that with time, but unfortunately the younger guys don't. Hence why they send me messages. Machita nginchele. It's so much tougher once you leave home. But let's take a step back. It's so much tougher once you matriculate. It's so much tougher. It is incredibly tough as a young boy when you matriculate. It's because, again, if you and Upale both matriculate, and let's say unfortunately you don't get a chance to go and continue studying, for example, and you guys both work at a KFC, the owner of that KFC is a guy. That guy can snatch up Upalesa, and Upalesa could be dating the owner of the KFC. Upalesa could be working drive-through, and some rich-ass doctor guy can come through and pick up Upalesa. You guys have seen it. If you've ever worked in a retail space, you've seen how men will flirt with OCs. So again, Upalesa always have an escape. There's always an option of a guy coming to save a girl, and many of these young girls, that's all they're waiting for. That's why they'll date certain guys at a certain caliber, because they want to be safe, because they can't do that themselves. A lot of them. Obviously, I know the sisters that can. I'm talking to those that can't. When I'm cheetah, Oshaya drive through, unless ngempela unenhlanhla and khona uDidi who's driving past for a KFC, OCC won't come and pick you up. They won't. I know so many sisters that work as doctor's assistants or dental assistants that are getting smashed by these doctors. And these guy doctors are giving them money all day, buying them clothes. I've never heard of the opposite. Maybe you have, but that's extremely rare. Where the PA or the assistant who's male to a female is getting all the... it's very rare. It's very rare. Having sugar mamas, that's a very, very, very rare thing. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen as even as close as sugar daddies do, But anyway, I believe osis bethu of a certain age do a very injustice because they don't go back and talk to younger sisters and say, guys, man sabancane, ningajahi ukujola amajita amadala. You know, our sisters don't do that. Our sisters tend to compete with one another. If you go to any braai and you see, let's say the average age of the females there is about 29, and then you see like 3 or 4 22-year-old girls walking, you can already see the claws coming out. The 22-year-old girls look at the older girls like they are past their prime, and the 29-year-old girls look at these little 22-year-old like little hussies, and there's that energy, and there's no real older sister, younger sister relationship. They're constantly competing for the same 35-year-old. The 22-year-old girl and the 29-year-old girl are both competing for that 35-year-old that invited the both of them. And it's very messy. Tina, as a machita, if I'm a 29-year-old guy, and there's 22-year-old guys come in, instantly, the 22-year-old, they come, they greet Basloni, but they understand there's an order here. We're not all competing. No. Even if they come in with 23-year-old girls, whatever, they understand shit. Unfortunately, the law of the world is that girls will be more attracted to that than they are to us. Instead of relax and leave with the guys they came with for something better. I know this video is meant to be about men taking advantage of younger girls, and those guys are disgusting. I agree. When you take advantage of people that are younger or people that are not as, it's disgusting. I am not pro that in any form. I'm just trying to explain that every villain has an origin story. So that guy, Unjabulu, that you took advantage, were under 14, grade 8, chitela with a 16-year-old, and when you're in matric, chitela with the guy who was working, or in varsity, you guys he was patanis, and you left him. And Unjabulu's great. Unjabulu's going to get his internship, he's going to start a job, Unjabulu's going to get to age 35, Unjabulu's going to get to 40. His money's going to start happening now. He's going to start driving that car, he's going to start having this, he's going to come through. He's now got a pain, All these fuckboys that I know, they've got a pain of being cheated on, of being hurt, of being left, they've got a pain. Ideally, in the perfect world, brother, please heal and focus on your life. That's the ideal world. Unfortunately, things may not always happen that way. We are blessed when we find the Batmans of the world. What does that mean? Batman experienced the pain of losing his parents, and he became a superhero. Spider-Man lost, he became a superhero. So again, it's very rare that a guy who's been hurt by a woman, a guy who's been cheated on, a guy who's been left by a woman, who's been broken by a woman, ends up going to teach and guide other men. Listen, just calm down, focus on yourself. You don't have to hurt other women. That's rare. Generally, guys that have been hurt, guys that have been broken by women, guys who've seen women leave them for guys with money, they go, okay. And this might not have been conscious, might be subconscious, where you go, okay, it's sharp, it's whatever, bro. Alright. Guy cries 20, 21, 23, 26, you're calm, boy. He's stuck, he's staying at home, he doesn't know what to do. He gets to 35, things start opening up, 40 grand. Uzobenzani sis abancane? Uzobenzani? And then you have the audacity to have the 40-year-old girls, ontanga bakhe at that time, who've now had failed marriages and multiple baby daddies, go to the same Njabule and go, Njabule, why aren't you dating untanga wakho? Because bitch, you were a hoe when we were our age. Bitch, when we were our age, you were chasing all types of money, all types of dick. Now all of a sudden you gotta judge me. Sisters, if you've never been with older guys, or if you've never left a guy for better, then you can't chat. You're a hypocrite. You must just shush, So again, it's such a painful thing. I'm not justifying guys taking advantage of younger women. I'm not. I'm trying to explain so that a lot of people can understand where it comes from. If you're a 21-year-old guy, alright guys, focus on you, bro. If you got a good one who's loyal and patient, hey, brah, umthande lo sis loyal. But if you've been hurt and she's left you and she's with now a guy who's better financially or whatever the case may be, focus on you, though. Focus on you. Make sure you get your mind right, you get your body right, you get your paper right. Once you can do that, then you're grand. Find your own place, spine wherever, spine a corner, climb up, yeah, sharp, spine KFC, work hard, so shy cash, okay, sure, cashier, okay, now, so manage, all right, so regional manager, kuzovuleka futhi, especially if you put your head down. Shay push up nyana, yeah, push up nomkhaba, whatever, shay jog nyana, okay, so you have a six pack nyana, all right, sure. You know, it's okay. Shange bicycle namhlanje, okay, sharp. Kusasa is good. From there, so push it uno, so push it tez. It's all figure, guys. You know, next thing I'm going to say, so push it pole, so nand. You know, so again, just be patient with that, gents. Just be patient. And I pray that our younger sisters can also be patient, you know, and understand Uguti, as much as they're growing, the guys in their peers are also growing. As much as they stuck and can't afford the latest iPhone, the gents in their space also. As relaxing, guys. It's not jahizinto. It's not jahizinto. It's not, because by the time a lot of sisters get to their late 20s, early 30s, they realize Uguti, they've just been chasing glitter, and none of this shit is real. And none of this shit is real. And by the time you look around, you're 31, either you're childless or you got 3 baby daddies and you don't know what the fuck to do. Now you start panicking. Now you start coming to Pension. Oh, Pension, hey. Yakumbulo, Mbugo, Facebook, back or no MySpace back in the day. I don't want to catch what you have. You've been busy. Just because now you are a reformed hoe doesn't mean what you're going to come to me. That's what guys say. Not saying guys are right, not just saying what is said. Guys, a lot of the things when we disagree or when we have engagements, try and introspect. Try and sit down and unpack it in layers and say, yes, I don't agree with this, but do I understand why it happens? Yes, I think this is disgusting, but do I understand what it is? Penson might be talking rubbish, Penson might be talking facts. Don't take my word at face value. Sit down, also you one, and try and process what is being said, and then start engaging with your circle and people outside of your circle. It doesn't help just being in a space where everybody agrees with everyone. No, you know, sit down. If you are politically an ANC member, go have discussions with DA members and EFF members and MK so that your brain can open up. So when you stuck around what's happening in terms of relationships, men and women, have discussions with young women, discussions with older women, discussions with single women, discussions with married women, fat women, no kids, multiple babies. Have those discussions with different men, successful men, poor men, fat men, skinny men. Have all these discussions and literally try and build your brain. That's what I do when I'm watching YouTube or when I'm listening to audiobooks. I'm trying to listen to different voices. I would hate just listening to, this is Andrew Tate, red pill, red pill. No, why would I want to do that? I listen to Andrew Tate and I listen to what he's saying. And then at the same time, I listen to The View, people that hate Andrew Tate. And I want to hear how they think. And then I'll listen to Jordan Peterson on the one side, I listen to Joe Rogan on the other side, and I listen to Mfundisi Banban, and I listen to Mam Banban, because I know with every single person that is coming with a different thing, it's different tools, and I get to sculpt my journey, you know, based on, because not everything that Mike Tyson might say to me will aid me in my journey. Not everything that Mandela said to me will aid me in my journey. There's times where I need to be like Jesus and turn the other cheek, and then there's time where I need to make sure I fuck up a nigga, you know. So that old boat sounded horrible. Pause. Hashtag no Diddy, you know. So again, there's different tools for different things, and certain people teach you different things, and it's all about taking in all the information, not fighting it, trying to understand then they show pensing, even though I may disagree at face value, you know, I wonder where it's coming from. Then they show where is it coming from, and sit and introspect, because you might learn so much about the world and yourself from people that you disagree with. Anyway, guys, please like, share this video as much as you can. Subscribe. Thank you to the members that I have. I think we're up to 6 now. They're paying $20 a month of their hard-earned cash. And I appreciate every single cent. Have yourselves a blessed day. Sure.